you have to be consistent, and you have to find people that will be supporting you along the lines. Because truly your friends are not your fans. Number one, I have to listen to it and actually enjoy it. Like if I cannot get up and dance or like perform to it, I won't release it because I don't feel a connection to it. I heard like 15 songs and I could easily use like 11 or 12 of those. And I was like, this is bunkers.
Hi there, welcome to another episode of In the Chair. This time we are in the chair with Kayn Falcon. Kayn is from Norwalk, Connecticut, a pop singer, but a producer and a writer, collaborator, a lot of good stuff. I can't wait to dive into this. Kayn, thank you for taking time to visit.
Thank you for having me. I'm so pumped.
I just realized when I'm saying who you are and what you do a lot of things, right? You are not just a singer.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit for people in the audience who've never who aren't familiar with you? What all do you do?
Well, I'm a man of many trades. You know what I'm saying? I do writing, I do composition, I do production. Besides singing. I do a little bit of everything. Beat maker. I try to, get my foot on all possible doors. And I'm a man of many trades. I love fashion, videography, photography. And so I like to, when it comes to my artistry, I try to be I like to be involved in everything, down to the nitty gritty. Every small detail goes through me.
That's fantastic. On one of the sites I saw, among your influences, Madonna and Lady Gaga are mentioned.
Yeah.
And they're amazing at what they do. Do you have influences or people you look up to who are kind of a total package, who do all of the things that you do?
100%. I mean, like Madonna's like one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like she's the queen of pop for a reason. She's kind of like the archetype everyone follows. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of artists who I can think of at the top of my head who are just so involved in the art and the process. Like I know Gaga is one of them. She's so dope. She's Lady Gaga. Hello. She's always been somebody that I look up to. Her work ethic is wild. I feel like because when you're young, you dream about becoming a singer and an artist and whatnot. But then you actually start doing the job, and you're like, wow, this is some like heavy hitter. Like you have to really put in a lot of effort. And I feel like I would say Madonna, Gaga. I'm pretty sure anyone who has made it in the industry understands the type of work that it takes to get to that level. So yeah, I mean, they're definitely up there with their work ethic.
Well, cool. I saw a picture of you at New York Fashion Week recently, and being in Norwalk. I'm wondering, like, what your routine is over a week or a month. Are you performing shows a lot, or are you more writing, or just going to Fashion Week? That's just showing up and and soaking it all in.
Right. Well, Fashion Week was fun. I went for a couple shows. Yeah, I am in Norwalk. So for anyone that doesn't know, Norwalk is in Connecticut. Connecticut is right next to New York. It's specifically like an hour away from New York City. It's a train ride away from me, and it's a lot of fun. I would say I go pretty often. I have a lot of friends there, and I just love to go for the sake of feeling the energy. I feel such a connection to New York City. For Fashion Week, I went with my friend / photographer Gian, and we went for a couple different fashion shows, which were amazing. I really enjoy going to Fashion Week and just in fashion shows in general. You learn so much from the current culture, and it's so dope. But I would say for the most part, I do go like it depends. Sometimes I just go like twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm there like 10 times a month. It really depends on on what I'm doing that specific week. So yeah, I mean, I would say like mostly back and forth an hour. It's like an hour um, train ride. But I would say for the most part, yeah, Fashion Week was the best
Mhm.
of New York City. It was insane. Everybody was wearing these bombastic looking outfits and they were so cool. You just, Fashion Week, you get to see everyone's personality through their clothing and you get to just experience so many different cultures. That's like the beauty of it. You get to go and see different styles, different colors of, different fabrics and everything. Everything was just amazing. I cannot wait to go back. It was so dope.
That's cool. I mentioned earlier off camera that I'm from Austin, Texas, and I've been here a long time. But for 5 years, I moved to New York to try and be famous, um, so I started temping through a temp agency, and one of my first temp gigs was in Calvin Klein's corporate office, working for like one of their big legal advisors or whatever. But just getting off the subway in the fashion district, uh, like you said, I was there during Fashion Week, for at one point. But even just on a random Tuesday, unloading trucks with just racks of clothing and I mean all the fabric stores there. It's literally just vibrant colors and personalities, and the energy is unmatched. I mean,
It really is. I mean, I feel like that's why I connect with New York City so much. I love fast paced, like heavy, loud energy. And I feel like New York City is perfect at doing that. And Fashion Week, in particular, was insane. I mean, it was just bunkers. I loved it. And I, honest to God, cannot wait to go back.
that's great. So you're writing, you're collabing with a lot of people. You're writing, and you're producing and making beats, like you said. But when you sit down to write your own music, "Automatic" was one of your recent singles. How would you describe your own music? Like, what makes it for you? Is it lyrics first or beats first, and where does the inspiration come from?
Um, yeah. Well, Automatic in particular was very well, it was a pretty interesting record to make. At first, I didn't make it for myself. I made it for somebody else. And then in the process, I was like, wait, this is like I love the instrumentals. So to answer your question, I make instrumentals first. That's the first thing I do. And then I do melody on top of it. I've always believed the melody really carries the song, but I've never been able to make like the melody first and then the instrumentals on like the music under it. It's always been beat, melody, and everything that follows through. So in that particular case, it was instrumentals first. It reminded me of like a 2010, 2002 type beat. The only problem was at first it had too much like information going on. It had too many like different synths. I had to cut it down. I had to like bring it down to like a couple tracks. And then after that, I made the melody and I started working on the actual song itself. It took a year for me to get the verse, the pre, and the chorus to a level that I liked. I'm very critical over my music. So I'm always like dissecting every part of it. I'm like, no, this could be different, and editing that and editing, changing. I at one point had 11 different versions of the chorus. And of course, it's like, I know some people are going to say, like, that's insane. Like, why would you even bother? But again, there is no, what's that saying? There is no rock left unturned. I'm always looking at the possibilities of bettering the quality of the song, whether it be the melody, the lyrics, the vocal performance, the beat. I'm always perfecting things. So Automatic took a while to be made, a year. I would say about a year, to be honest with you. So the process was pretty long. Substance was a bit more fast. It wasn't as long of a process. It was more like, oh, just cute little synthy bop bop, because Substance was not supposed to be a big single. I released it, but originally it was not supposed to be a single. It was supposed to be like just like a little droplet, not a huge thing. Um, but I ended up I I ended up sending the files for Substance to the mixer first instead of Automatic, and I
Uh,
was like, great, perfect. And I ended up I was like, you know what, screw it, just send. Let's release um, Substance first, and then go for Automatic. And that's what I did. I ended up just releasing Substance, and then Automatic came after that.
um, I love talking to artists about the creative process, and like you had so many different mixes of Automatic,
Yeah.
and the approach of leave no stone unturned. How do you decide when it's done, or that version is the final? Is that personal taste, or do you kind of have a friend group, or just your people,
Yeah.
like, no, this is definitely the best one? How does that
No,
work?
I hear you. It's funny. I do a little bit of everything when it comes to like calling it the final straw. Number one, I have to listen to it and actually enjoy it. Like if I cannot get up and dance or like perform to it, I won't release it because I don't feel a connection to it. I do have my friends listen to different versions of them. And whichever one is like the most liked is normally the one that gets it by. Um, my brother um doesn't listen to pop music. He listens to like rap or trap, but he does pick on a good, like he knows a good hook when he listens to it. So I was like, hey, I normally call my brother up, be like, can you listen to this? And he's so used to it, he hates it. He's like, again, like, am I really gonna against? And I'm like, no, please, like, give it a shot. And he'll listen to it, and he tells me, he's like, okay, this one is like a good one. Like, you can stick with this one. Um, so it's a little bit of everything. Like you said, I struggle with that because like after the release of Automatic, a month later, I was cleaning out my drafts and I heard this version of Automatic where the chorus was a slightly tiny bit different. And I was like, wait, this was so much better. Why didn't I release this one? But I was like, you know what? Like that's the perfectionist in you. You're always trying to perfect things. But you best believe when I heard that version, I was like, oh, I was so mad because I was like, this could have been a bit more catchier if just, but then again, you just have to take it and just move it. But I definitely show it to my friends a lot, my family. I have to listen to it. I have to like show it to people. And if I'm not cringing, I know it's good.
Uh,
Because sometimes you play, you're like, oh my goodness, why did I put those ad libs in that section? Why did I do this? Why did I set? Um, so when I can play a record and it smoothly goes along, that's when I'm like, okay, I got it. I caught it. I finally did the thing. But it takes some time. It definitely takes time to get to that level.
yeah, that's so interesting to think about that, because yeah, you might hear a mix of it that you hadn't listened to in 10 years, 10 years from now. Like, oh no, I definitely did that better, but it's out there.
I believe I was in the car. I was doing television. I was doing an interview for television in Costa Rica, and I was in the car and cleaning out the drafts, and I heard it, and I was like, and I turned around to my mom, and I go, I'm so mad. Like this could have been better, and she's like, relax. Like it's out already. She's like, it's fine. The song sounds great regardless. And I was like, I know, but still, it's just that 1% of you that's just like, oh, it could have been just a tiny bit better. But I still love it. It's still a great record, and I'm really proud of it.
That's great. Are you performing live much right now? Um,
I'm doing more like like online concerts because I think that's yes, I have performed out like in public and stuff, but I feel like right now, I mean, this, everything is like on TikTok and lives and stuff. So a lot of it I am pushing more on like live performances. Um, so I'm just doing a lot of like digital concerts really. Like but and it's, you know what, it's actually really cool because you get to still again perform in front of people, maybe not in person, but they're still listening. So I have also gone to like karaoke's and stuff. um so it's yeah, I'm doing a little bit of both out in public, but mostly in, you know, through a camera.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting, and the artists I've talked with over the past year or so, um, some are all about touring. All they do is tour, and maybe don't lean on social media much at all. It's all about selling T-shirts at shows,
Right.
or whatever. Um, and some are definitely more online. Um, and very very few are perfect blends of both
Right.
of digital content versus live. So I'd love to see that variation amongst really different age artists and then different genres.
Yeah.
I think lean one way or the other.
I mean, I would love to perform more often in public. However, I feel like the industry is moving more towards the, you know, online territory of things.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Especially after COVID, we we changed a lot of those aspects of performance. But I mean, I still love to perform in and like in public in general. But I I feel like, you know, um, when you take into consideration like the travel, the, you know, renting venues and stuff, and then you take into consideration just making money off live. It depends on the type of venue you go to, and obviously like the crowd you have. But sometimes, you know, budget wise, you would sometimes make a little bit more ends meet with the digital concert. Again, it's just, you know, society and the internet moving forward. But yeah, no, I completely agree though that in public is way different because you're actually connecting with the energy of other people.
No, I just saw a reel. It kind of went viral in the past couple of weeks. Shirley Manson from the band Garbage was talking about how the tour that they were on right now in the U.S. is going to be their last one because of the economics of touring. And she
Yeah.
said, we might come back and do the East Coast and the West Coast, but touring, it's just it's almost guaranteed financial disaster.
I have seen that with a couple artists. A lot of people are coming out saying stuff like that, which is really interesting. But yeah, no, again, it really depends on the fan base that you have and the uh, depends on demand. But I agree though. It seems things are switching up a little bit.
Yeah. Um, I have a section of these interviews that I do sometimes called Five Questions. And I really want to ask these to you. They're just kind of short questions,
Okay.
and they might lead into some conversation or not. But yeah, so let me hit you with five kind of quick questions, and I'd love to hear your take on it. The first one is like right now, after our interview, you want to go listen to music. What platform do you listen to, or what medium? I mean, do you go put on vinyl, or do you go to Spotify and listen in earbuds or something?
Right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna be completely honest. I do listen to Apple Music. I am an Apple user all the way through. Um, but I do have CDs. I do have I had one vinyl. But I mostly listen to streaming platforms and YouTube. YouTube is like my ultimate like streaming like service. I love YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Um, but I would say for the most part, I'm listening to Apple Music. I have all my catalog is in Apple Music.
Uh, so the reason I asked that is because the answers vary so much.
Yeah.
There was a producer in Canada I recently talked to who he's like, it's YouTube Music, and that's his like number one way. He's like, sometimes I'll put on a record, but it's YouTube. And I did have another Apple Music devotee, and so I think that's very interesting. Okay, so So you go to your Apple Music catalog and you're like, oh, I want to hear something. Who are some of the artists that you listen to like daily or weekly? Like, who are some of your go-tos?
I'll tell you right now, I have my I have a playlist of like my most played. Listen, I am a pop music fan. Like I'm a stand. I listen to pop music 24/7. Um, okay. Okay, so my most, I would say for the most part, I'm very traditional pop.
Mhm.
So I'm listening to like I would say as of now, Katy Perry, John Bellion, like Kylie Minogue, um, 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Not like I again, it's pop music like all the way. I probably listen to the same four songs on repeat for like a year, and then I take a break and then I come back. It's insane. I my brother is always like, "Yo, like you need to switch up your style," and I'm like, "No, like you don't get it. You don't get that. It's like a connection. Like it's insane." But I would say for the most part, it is. Oh yeah, and like Dua Lipa.
Sure.
It's pretty much where I'm at right now.
No, and I do realize it is unfair to ask a question on the spot because you might be forgetting your favorite. That just happens too.
No. But I'm pretty like when it comes to like my favorites. Like I'm like I got them down to the nitty gritty. So I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Okay, so third question here. So far in everything that you've done with all the different types of things that you've done, what has been one of your music career highlights? Just your best day, or most interesting opportunity, or coolest collab, or whatever it might be.
Right. Definitely going on television has been a really dope thing. My family saw me on live TV. And then having my music on Vivo, like the official Vivo type of music. Because I grew up listening to like, again, pop music, and every time a big record came on, it had the Vivo logo on like the bottom left corner.
Mhm.
And I was like, I really want my song to have that. And I did it. Substance and Automatic have they were released through Vivo.
Mhm.
And I think that to me, even though it's a very small detail, to me, it's like a huge win. It's like I did it, and I think for now, it's also been like my friends unconsciously singing Automatic to me. Like I had like my couple of my friends will walk by and be like, "Come to Suburbia," and I'm like, "Wait, I caught you saying it," and they were like, I didn't even have to say that like on purpose. Like I'm just singing it unconsciously. So I think those have been my wins so far.
Yeah. Oh, that people singing your songs. I'm not even a songwriter. I've been a drummer most of my life, but I mean, the best drug in the world for me is playing drums with whatever band I'm in, and someone in the crowd like bopping to it and singing the lyrics. It's like that's it. Like I've made it, and anytime
Yeah.
that happens, it's so fulfilling. You're like, that you've touched someone enough for them to put your song in their head, and that is huge.
Yeah.
What about the flip side? So that's looking on the past, looking at your next 5, 10, 20 years. What's your goal? Like, if you could hit the top, what is the thing? Is it a venue or a show, or sharing a bill with a particular artist or something like that?
Right. Hmm. I would say, funny enough, I want to be successful, but maybe not like there are different levels of success. I want to be successful enough, but not like bunker successful, where you're like not even successful, just famous. So I would be completely fine with doing like arenas,
Hmm.
and I think that would be so dope. If more comes my way, I'm more than welcome for it. But I think like success. I mean, like for future things, artists that I would love to collab would be like all the greats like Madonna, John Bellion, Melanie, Lana. Um, I think like they have all taught me something different. So I would say for the most part, that's what it is for now. And like releasing music, I think I have a lot of ideas. I may not have the budget to pull through all of those ideas, but I definitely have a lot that I want to say. And then because I am working by myself for the most part, it takes some time. And that is the only like frustrating thing about it. It's that I don't have a record label like behind me at this very moment. Um, and quite frankly, I don't know if it's necessarily a record label that I need, but trying to pull all these ideas together can be kind of difficult if it's just one person like pulling them and trying to build this thing instead of having multiple people kind of come together and like kind of help sculpture the project. So I guess for the most part, in the future, I hope to have a really dope group of individuals that can help me put these ideas on a solid ground and then build from there. Again, they're very just like very small things that I think can really help along the lines.
Yeah, that's great. That's all very very attainable too. You know, it's not like you're like I need to sell out. I want to play Super Bowl halftime. Like, all right, well, that's a good
Like,
goal to have, but
I mean, that'd be great. Like, listen, if you're watching NFL, like, I would love to perform, but I obviously would need, like, again, like, those are, yeah, it would be fun to in the future, like, long down the line, like, Super Bowl and like residencies and like world tours like that'll be that would be amazing. But I really, again, I think all of those things come from this very important beginning because I feel like a lot of those things are not possible without some basic structures, and I've really put in the effort on those needs that you need in order to build to those bigger degrees.
yeah.
But I mean, I love to perform the Super Bowl. Like that would be so dope.
No, it's yeah, me too. If you get that call and you need a drummer, remember this moment right here.
I will. I will.
Let's see. All right, and then the last of my five questions. So to this date, you have accomplished a lot. What advice would you give to someone, I mean, who just comes up to you and says, "Well, how did you get started? Like, what do I do?" Maybe somebody is making their own beats or writing their own lyrics, but how do they start making more tangible progress, I guess?
Right. You have to really be consistent. And I really am pushing this, and I say this to myself. I say it to myself every single day. You have to be consistent and you have to find people that will be supporting you along the lines. Because truly your friends are not your fans. And you need to really understand that in order to move forward. And trust me, it's harder to explain, but I always tell people like you have to just get with people who get the vision. And if they don't, then they're probably not really meant for you. Be consistent. But at the same time, I believe some people, they are so meant to do this that they have already a path in their mind. You should follow that path. You have that vision for a reason. Don't let anyone come and like blur that out for you. Follow it. Keep it crystal clear. Because not a lot of people have that vision. And those that have it, again, they have it for a reason. You're meant to follow it. So I would say for the most part, like if you know you're doing it and you know you're good at it and you can see yourself like professionally doing it, just be consistent. You have to be really consistent and you have to want it to a point of like becoming delusional. Like you have to like kind of go crazy because there's a lot of people out here who want to do the same thing, but only the ones that are consistent and disciplined
Yeah.
thriving.
Yeah. What you said your friends are not your fans rang so true to me because I think of when I moved to Austin, Texas, and I had my first band together, and we would play local venues. Of course, who's going to come see you? Your friends. And I remember, like, the first, I don't know, 30 shows we played. We would be playing, and we could look out in the audience and just say, "Oh, Joe didn't come tonight," or "Jane didn't make the show," and you literally knew where everybody who's going to order that drink during this song or whatever. And we realized this is not how you sustain a band. You can't. You need your friends' support, absolutely, but they also have their own lives. And it
Yeah,
wasn't until we saw people coming through the door, for a long time it was, oh, I don't know that person. It's like, oh, well, that's the cousin of that person, or that's so and so's mom's coworker, or whatever. But it wasn't until faces come through the door that you don't know. You're like, oh, now my music is catching on. I don't have
right.
to
Well,
bribe people to come to our shows.
well, no, 100%. I mean, you can have supportive friends. But I'm saying that because a lot of times, at least in my experience, I'm going to be very honest. The people around me who I thought were supporting me were not, and you need to understand that because, unfortunately, again, who is going to see you live? Who's going to these stadiums, to these concerts? It's strangers. You support, what I'm saying? Like your friends will not always be supportive. And this is not just on music. This can be anything. Um, and yes, for anyone wondering, I have had some history with like weird people around me. So that's kind of why I'm saying this. And it's not to be like weird or anything. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
You can have really good supportive friends. I support all my friends, but there's some people who are not like that. And like you said, you need not necessarily your friends around you all the time to make it. A lot of times they can also be, not giving you the best position at times. So, I mean, but yeah, you can definitely have supportive friends. I definitely have a group of people who are really supportive. Um, but then, it's important to, again, have that clear vision for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, people around you, but just make sure that as an artist, you know where you're going. That's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now let's do talk about promoting you. You have mentioned before that you have an album that is in the works right now. You're looking toward spring 2026. Can you tell me about the album? Like, how far are you along, and what are the plans?
So I made this record back when I'm 22. I made it when I was in freshman year of 2018. I wasn't gonna release this originally. I was gonna actually keep it like in the vault, but then I was like trying to change my image for a while. I was doing a bit of a switch of style, and I ended up, going from this dark pop music to wanting to become more commercial. So I was like going through my hard drives, and I was like, you know what? Let me, because I was like, I think I had a body of work that I was going to release in high school because I was talking to some like record labels, but nobody was going to sign an 18-year-old guy, a boy. Like I didn't know much of what was going on. So I go back, I found the hard drive after like an hour search. And then I'm listening to the music and I'm like, wait a minute, this is really good. I don't think I've made records like this ever since. And, you know, ever since then, I was like, you know what? Let me just like release this music. Like, why not? And honest to God, the minute I did that, everything has been like perfectly happening. Like weirdly enough, perfect timing has been working. So I guess that's a sign that it's actually what I'm supposed to be releasing. Um, I am really excited for it because I think it holds a lot of truth. The album itself is about, my high school experience and kind of going through, first heartbreak, your first crush, uh, you know, football nights and crazy drama and things. But it's things that I feel like everyone has been through. You know, like you definitely remember being in high school and like your first crush, like your first heartbreak, things of that nature. Like we can all relate to them. And I was like, you know what? Let me drop some happy music for a while because I feel like I was releasing prior to Automatic and Substance. I had released like Brilliant Minds and a couple other records that were more darker, and I wanted to go more happy. I wanted to do like a happier record. So yeah, that's a lot of what is coming out, but I'm really excited because I feel like I'm at the same time honoring my younger self, the version of me that made these records back in 2018. Um, and honestly, I'm shocked at how good they came out. Because I was a child, like I was on my computer. I don't know how I was able to make those songs. Because looking back at it now, I'm like, wow, the way that those songs are made are very similar to like you know, like not like kind of like hit song ideas. Oh, it was just insane, and I'm really pumped, and I hope that you know this album will be um, delivered the way that it's supposed to deliver, because I think it holds a lot of truth. But most importantly, it was kind of what it was kind of what you know kicked off my artistry in some kind of way. This was like my first time making music. And yeah, I just want to like, put it out there into the universe and hopefully people can relate to it and find themselves in the situations I was in.
Wow. That was not the story I was expecting. I thought you're like,
Sorry. I just like threw a bunch of things at you. I'm so sorry.
no, that's amazing. I assumed, you've written the singles you have so far, and you were writing others and gonna drop it in the spring. But to go back to your teen years, I mean, not many people do that. I think that is every album needs a story. I mean, whatever the story is, and that's a phenomenal story of not just the. I mean, you must like it, you must respect it, even though it was a long time ago with different technology and everything. But you're putting it out there for your name, so you identify with it and believe in it. That's amazing. Like props to teenage you.
Trust me, I am also clapping for him because, again, it's one of those things where you have to like. I went back and I was listening to a couple demos and I was like, wait, I have not made anything like this before. I'll be honest. The album that I was meant to release was a bit darker. It was more A minor driven, where this is more happy, like G major. And I have never, like, I went back and my jaw was probably catching flies because it was insane. I'm really excited and I really hope that the music will deliver. And I mean that in the sense of like the meaning and the energy and the emotion that I was carrying during that time. Because again, I don't really know, and I don't really know, and at the same time, I don't want to know what or how I really made that happen, because that's what makes it special.
Yeah.
That's what makes it really magical. But yeah, no, I'm high fiving my younger version of myself, because it was insane. It was actually bonkers looking at it now.
That's funny because I think a lot of people might feel the way I feel. Like young me, that was an idiot. To have young you, like, wow, young you were good, kid.
Oh, for real. Listen. Well, I mean, like obviously there were a couple songs that I was like, okay, we'll work without this. But they were, for the most part, I mean, I heard like 15 songs and I could easily use like 11 or 12 of those. And I was like, this is bunkers. Um, so I'm not like, you know, again, high school, I was very much like not going to parties. I was not popular. I was very much like I became obsessed with music, and I was making music every single day. And I think that's what that was. It was a very pure moment
Mhm.
in my life, and I guess that's why the music sounds the way it does. It has a magical sound to it, and I really can only hope that other people can relate to it. But don't get me wrong though, I was still dumb in some aspects. Like I was like maybe not with music, but I was still doing things that I shouldn't have.
Oh, sure, sure. Okay, so I followed every one of your profiles that I could find before our interview. But for updates on the album, like what are your more active profiles where you're like, no, I'm definitely going to talk about this on this platform because I want to be sure and see it when it drops.
TikTok is something that I'm doing the most of right now. A little bit of lip syncing, a little bit of you know, music. I like to keep posting there. So definitely TikTok. Instagram, my stories are always updated like every single day. I'm becoming more active on Twitter or X, and I need to start. I actually didn't even know I had a Facebook until I realized that like what I think automatically like Facebook creates an account for you if you have like Instagram. Because I the other day I was like, oh my god, I have to open a Facebook account, and then I go to like open it, and I go to see it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I already have a Facebook account. I don't know how that happened, but so that has been pretty. Yeah, on TikTok to answer your question, TikTok is probably where I'm gonna be active the most.
Great, great, great. And I know, let's see, I'm looking in real time right now. TikTok, you're at Kayn Falcon.
Yeah,
Instagram is Kayn.Falcon.
yeah.
So,
I
all
have
right.
one.
I want to make sure I don't miss your album.
Oh yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
This is
Um,
totally selfish here. Also, promotion. Go follow him. But really, I wanted to know. um, well, Kayn, thank you for taking this time again. This has been wonderful. I'm actually really honestly excited to hear this album because I it's going to be better than anything I did when I was
oh
17.
my goodness.
uh, Great. Well, good luck with the album. It was wonderful to get to know a little bit more about you. And yeah, say hello to New York City when you're there for me, please.
Will do. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and thank you. I had an amazing time.
All right. Take care.